Hello and welcome back to our channel. We're absolutely thrilled to have you join us again today. If you're someone who enjoys the art of craftsmanship, the beauty of natural materials, and the satisfaction of watching something incredible rise from the ground up, then you're in the right place. Today, we're taking you on a truly remarkable journey. Join us as we follow a team of highly skilled and passionate carpenters, masters of their craft, as they build an enormous, rock-solid wooden house deep in the heart of nature. This isn't just any house. It's a testament to what human hands can create when patience, precision, and passion come together. From massive timber beams to hand-carved details, every part of this home is shaped with care and built to last for generations. We'll witness the entire process, from selecting the right trees and milling the wood, to laying the foundation, raising the frame, and finally adding the finishing touches that make the house come alive. Every saw cut, every hammer strike, every joint carefully fitted, all come together like a symphony of effort, experience, and heart. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the beauty of traditional woodworking, the harmony of teamwork, and the satisfaction of watching a wooden dream home take shape right before your eyes. Let's dive in. In what seemed like the blink of an eye, the once empty clearing was transformed. The solid wooden frame, tall, proud, and perfectly aligned, now stood firmly against the sky, like the bare bones of a sleeping giant, waiting to be clothed in walls and a roof. Massive timber beams, each one carved, carried, and hoisted with care, locked into place with astonishing precision. As the last support beam was secured, you could almost feel the heartbeat of the structure thudding into life. This wasn't just a pile of wood anymore. It was becoming something greater. With every joint fitted tightly and every angle squared to perfection, the home began to take shape. You could already imagine the walls filled with warmth, the sound of footsteps echoing down the hallways, the creak of wooden floors beneath bare feet. All of it started here, with this skeletal frame rising strong and true, a symbol of the skill, sweat, and soul poured into its creation. It was a moment that took mere hours to unfold, but held within it generations of knowledge and pride. The kind of moment that reminds us, when human hands work with heart and harmony, even something as grand as a house can begin with nothing more than wood, will, and wonder. With the frame of the house standing tall and steady, it was time for the next major milestone, raising the roof. This part of the build was no less demanding. It required strength, precision, and above all, perfect teamwork. The roof is more than just a cover. It's a shield, a protector from wind, rain, sun, and time. And for these craftsmen, every single step mattered. Huge wooden trusses, carved and measured down to the last millimeter, were carefully lifted into place. Some required the strength of 5 or 6 men working in harmony, ropes pulling in unison, every movement timed like choreography. As each truss was set down and secured at the peak, the shape of the house transformed once again. The skeleton of the home now had a spine, and its silhouette began to resemble something you could imagine living inside, something safe, strong, and permanent. The workers moved with a quiet confidence, balanced high above the ground, as if they had done this 1,000 times before. With every wooden plank added, every beam locked in, the roof began to stretch across the frame like the wings of a great bird, sheltering what would soon become a living space filled with stories, memories, and life. And then came the final ridge beam, the crown of the roof. When it was lifted and fixed into place, a cheer erupted. Not loud or dramatic, but warm, proud, and full of satisfaction. Another crucial step was complete. The house now had a top, a shelter, a soul. With the wooden roof frame now in place, another layer of strength was about to be added. A carefully welded steel structure that would reinforce the entire roof system and prepare for decades of resilience. This was the stage where tradition met modern engineering. The warm, earthy tones of wood were now joined by the cold, gleaming precision of steel. The metal framework wasn't just for support. It was designed to ensure that the roof could withstand even the harshest weather, from heavy rain and wind to the unforgiving heat of summer. Welders climbed onto the rooftop like silent craftsmen of fire. Sparks flew as the welding torches came to life, lighting up the beams like brief bursts of lightning. The sound of sizzling metal echoed through the air, steady, rhythmic, almost like a song of progress. Piece by piece, the steel frame was laid and fused into the structure with absolute precision. Every joint welded tightly, every corner double-checked. The contrast between wood and metal was striking, one organic and warm, the other sleek and unyielding. Yet together, they formed the perfect balance of beauty and endurance. From above, The roof now looked like the skeleton of a ship, strong, reinforced, ready to weather storms. And beneath it, the promise of shelter grew stronger, more permanent. As the final sparks faded and the last well cooled, there was a quiet sense of accomplishment in the air. The house wasn't just beautiful anymore. It was battle ready. With the wooden structure complete and the steel frame welded securely in place, it was finally time to crown the house with one of its most iconic features, the red clay roof tiles . These tiles weren't just functional. They carried tradition, elegance, and a sense of timeless charm. Each one, hand-formed and baked in heat, bore the slight imperfections that made them beautiful. No two tiles were exactly alike, yet together, they will create a seamless coat of armor for the house. One by one, the workers climbed up to the rooftop, their steps light but steady. They worked in rows, passing tiles along like a chain, each handoff smooth, each motion practice. With practiced precision, every tile was laid overlapping the one before it, like dragon scales slowly forming a protective shell. The deep red of the clay stood out boldly against the sky. Under the sunlight, the tiles glowed warmly, catching the light at different angles and breathing life into the roof. Bit by bit, the bare frame disappeared beneath the rising tide of red, neat, rhythmic, resilient. As the final row of tiles was locked into place, a sense of completion hung in the air. From a distance, the roof looked like a sea of rust-red waves, strong and beautiful, ready to face the elements. The house, once just beams and boards, now stood proudly with a crown of red, bold, radiant, and filled with the promise of shelter and stories yet to come. After the roof had been tiled and the structure stood strong under its red crown, the next step brought warmth and shape to the house, building the wooden walls. This was where the home began to truly take form. No longer just a skeleton of beams and frames, the space was about to be enclosed, given boundaries, a place where wind would be kept out and memories would be kept in. Thick wooden planks, carefully selected and smoothed, were brought out in stacks. Their scent, rich, earthy, and warm, filled the air as if the forest itself had come to witness this moment. Piece by piece, the planks were lifted, aligned, and secured into place. The sound of hammers striking nails echoed steadily, blending with the rustle of sawdust and the hum of teamwork. Every board was placed with care, ensuring tight seams and smooth finishes, like a puzzle being assembled with love and precision. As each section went up, the spaces between the beams began to close. The breeze no longer swept through the house freely. It was now filtered through wood, through walls that offered shelter, privacy, and protection. And with every new wall, the house felt more alive. It was no longer just a construction site. It was becoming a home, a place where voices would echo, where windows would open to sunlight, and where stories would take root in the grain of the timber itself. With the main wooden walls firmly in place, the house was still an open space filled with possibilities. It was now time to give it shape and function by creating individual rooms, cozy corners, and private spaces through partition walls. The craftsman began by carefully measuring and marking the floor, mapping out the dimensions of each room with precision. Every mark on the wood represented a new story waiting to unfold within that space. Using thinner wooden studs and smooth panels, they started erecting the partitions, one by one, slowly turning the open shell into a mosaic of rooms. Each wall was thoughtfully constructed to balance strength and elegance, making sure the grain and tone of the wood matched perfectly with the surrounding beams. The sound of hammers striking nails became a comforting rhythm, echoing through the house as the new walls grew taller. Sawdust danced lightly in the air, catching the soft afternoon light filtering through the windows. Each new partition brought privacy, dividing the home into bedrooms, a living room, perhaps a kitchen, transforming it from a mere shelter into a warm and welcoming home. The workers moved with a practiced flow, communicating with subtle gestures, ensuring every plank fit perfectly, every corner aligned. As the walls took shape, the space began to breathe differently. Instead of one large room filled with echoes, the house now held a gentle hush, the quiet intimacy of separated spaces where laughter, conversation, and rest would soon happen. After the rooms were neatly partitioned and the structure was taking shape, the next step was to add a graceful wooden veranda that would wrap around the entire house, a place where nature and home could meet. The craftsmen began by laying sturdy wooden posts at precise intervals along the perimeter of the house. These pillars would hold up the veranda roof, creating a shaded walkway that invited slow steps and quiet moments. Next, long, smooth wooden planks were carefully placed side by side to form the veranda floor. The rich scent of fresh timber mingled with the cool breeze, as workers secured each plank firmly, making sure the surface was even and strong. Handrails were then added, carved with simple but elegant patterns that hinted at the artisan's skill and the home's character. The railings framed the veranda like a gentle embrace, offering safety without blocking the view of the surrounding landscape. Skilled carpenters began selecting sturdy wood, rich in texture and grain, perfect for creating doors that would open to new rooms, to fresh air, and to the world outside. Each door was unique, some tall and grand for main entrances, others smaller and simpler for bedrooms and closets, but all shared the same craftsmanship and attention to detail. The wood was carefully cut, smooth, and shaped into frames and panels. Artisans carved delicate patterns on some doors, adding a touch of artistry and personality. Hinges were fitted precisely, so the doors would swing open and close quietly, yet firmly. With every door installed, dozens of them around the house, the home felt more welcoming and complete. These doors weren't just barriers. They were invitations, doors to privacy, to connection, to movement. They framed the life inside and welcomed the world outside, making the house not only a shelter, but a living, breathing space full of possibility. After the walls were up and the doors installed, the next important step was to build a sturdy wooden staircase that would lead up to the house's main entrance. This staircase would be more than just a way up, it would be a welcoming path connecting the ground and the home above. The craftsmen carefully selected thick, strong timber for the steps. Each plank polished smooth but still showing the natural grain and warmth of the wood. They measured and cut each step precisely, making sure the height and depth were comfortable for climbing. At last, after all the hard work and dedication, the magnificent wooden house stands proudly, strong, beautiful, and full of life. Every beam, every door, every detail tells a story of craftsmanship, patience, and love. This home is not just a shelter. It's a dream made real, a sanctuary where memories will be created, laughter will echo, and generations will find comfort. Thank you so much for following along with us on this incredible journey of building a grand wooden house. We hope you enjoyed seeing the transformation as much as we enjoyed sharing it with you. Stay tuned for more amazing projects and stories. Until next time, take care and keep dreaming big.